Here we are. So, Justin, you are here with us today for our very first member spotlight over at PlannerDAO. And let's get started. Well, we don't have a lot of time. We got to sneak all of this information into a really short little conversation here. So, highlights, experience, successes to date, essentially the Coles notes of LinkedIn. Let us know.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for starting this. I'm so excited. I have been a certified financial planner in Tampa for about 19 years and really just had an opportunity to work with my father, who's a CPA, and very early on started to understand that, financial planning is just so much more than the numbers and planning targets, that people were, just such a vital part. So really set out to become a registered life planner, which I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, but essentially it was just the behavioral responses to money. And so I had a client who really got me into crypto probably about 2.5 years ago. It was funny, they were asking me to review just some different projects. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And I heard it said that, cryptocurrency was everything I didn't understand about economics, like raised to the power of everything I didn't know about computers. And so I was overwhelmed trying to help somebody, get a handle on some of these different projects and stuff. And that really led me to link up with Adam and Steve, and I think it was the second cohort through the CDAA, and really just got involved very early on in the PlannerDAO. And so here I am. I am just so grateful to have found this community and just to be a part of where it's going and what it can do.
Well, you're leading me very easily into the next questions here. So what are you working on and creating right now?
Oh my goodness, yes. I wear a lot of different hats. There is a joke that I am the Walmart greeter of the PlannerDAO because it's my job as the community host to welcome everybody and to really sort of onboard them into what kind of community this is. And we say that we like to be a very hospitable, kind, patient place, because as advisors, we're all learning at different speeds about crypto and coming from different places, but ultimately it's still very early. Whether you've been here for a year or two or you got here a couple days ago, it's early enough that we should all be very patient and just gracious with each other as we learn together, because the idea that there are some experts here and not, again, there are some people who are brilliant, but we're all learning together. And so, that's always been sort of my focus and goal, is to include everybody in on, hey, you're joining at the right spot. We're all going to go on this journey together. And so I am first and foremost the community experience working group director. And then I also added to my list of things to do, leading the Crossroads Conference, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's going to be the very first sort of semi-decentralized conference where essentially we're like the anti-conference. So like everything that's going on all over, Consensus and Bitcoin Miami and all these things that are happening, this is like the total opposite of that. And so very curious to see if we can pull it off. But just again, very just blown away at the quality of people that we have coming to help. And so again, we don't even have speakers, we have contributors, like all these little ways that we try to differentiate from the fact that we want a very hands-on workshop experience where you can come, grow, learn, become more confident in handling, whether it's wallets, DeFi, NFTs, you name it, and leave with very practical things that you can implement in your practice. So Crossroads Conference, if you haven't signed up yet, we would love to have you.
I just have to contributors. Our viewers need to know that, our viewers and listeners need to know that we did not discuss these questions beforehand. So you're going to laugh at this next one. So as a global community of professionals, PlannerDAO relies on its members to be contributing their through education, collaboration, and innovation. And so Justin, how are you contributing your superpowers?
Superpowers is not the right word, but just tenacity is definitely towards, I would say, towards the PlannerDAO, trying to carve out a unique sort of experience or feel for what a professional DAO that is just fascinated with this new blockchain technology and digital assets. And so I've been a part of a lot of, DAOs, Discords, crypto Twitter, like we've talked about some, where, it just the overall feel is either a little snarky, there's a little, it's high sarcasm, high meme, kind of game that is, just a little bit edgier than what the PlannerDAO is and what the CDAA really stands for, which is, professionals bringing a lot of experience and, understanding about financial markets and, behavioral finance to digital assets. And so, really, I think that the first thing is really trying to create a bedrock for healthy community to take root. And that to me starts with having the right sort of value set and right perspective and attitude about, again, what this is, because there were some real questions early on. If we were just going to end up as like another meme generating, just kind of punchline of let's make fun of everybody and everything and burn the place to the ground because that's what, crypto Twitter loves to do. And we were convinced that no. I think as we are growing and maturing in our understanding of digital assets, there's room for professionals who, again, are genuinely interested in helping people navigating, all these different projects, and all these new technologies. And again, marrying it with a little bit more, I guess I said professionalism already, but I think that really is kind of the best word. A sensible maturity, if that makes sense. I think that's my first foremost and my biggest goal is to create that first, because who knows where all this is really going.
Well, and it's really amazing, people think about that pyramid or what have you, product, services, experiences, and we hear about the CX concept in tech and other places, client experience, customer experience, but this really is about community experience, and it's about a feeling and a way that you go about all of it, right?
I would say it's
great.
One of those were my earliest experiences. So again, that one of the things our client that got me into this was, hey, there's this fork wars happening in Ethereum, and there's this Ethereum and there's Ethereum Classic, and we were trying to read white papers and all this stuff, and my biggest failure going, that you just learned early on was we focused so much on these fundamentals, this technical data. We both sort of talked ourselves into hey, Ethereum Classic is going to be the purest form of Ethereum. And the thing that I missed, and I don't think we really truly appreciated, is the power of community behind these projects. And so you can have a lot of technical brilliance, you can have a lot of, just your fundamentals, so to speak, from a financial perspective in line. But today is really about community and having the power of people collaborating, working together, that propels these things forward, into just much greater heights than maybe just the fundamentals. And so, again, I've just always since then taken the idea of we have to lead with community. It doesn't matter how cool or innovative, whatever the thing is, if it doesn't have the power of a invigorated community behind it, it's going to be okay, but it doesn't have those flywheel effects, the network effects that just seem to be, everywhere else.
The flywheel is exactly what I was imagining in my house. I'm like, it is the cycle. And you were talking about at the very beginning, human behavior is where you started, right? And who are we? People. And what are they looking for? How do they, all of that. So yeah, circular, coming back to the basics of humans and what they're looking for. What is one tool, person, or insight that you're searching for right now? And essentially from a networking perspective, how do we open a conversation? Who do we send your way?
Yeah, no, I love this question. For me, it's trying to find other financial professionals like estate planning attorneys, and accountants. So other people that can help round out just my own understanding about the different aspects of digital assets, and really trying to be able to articulate to someone a comprehensive experience. I mentioned I was very fortunate to work with my father, a CPA, and that very early on taught me that CFPs and CPAs can be completely different. We had 180-degree perspectives on many things, But when we like started working together to help a client, we would have a really well-rounded understanding of problems and really good solutions to that. And so for me right now, it's trying to find those other professionals who can bring their perspective to digital assets so that we can work together to have a more comprehensive solution for people.
I wish I could attribute it to the right PlannerDAO member, but there was somebody in one of the threads around what do you want to change about this industry who said that they want people to have a better understanding of the trifecta. And the idea that, you know, lawyers, accountants, and financial planners or advisors can work together and be on the same team. And yeah, it's so true. You know, in terms of what you were saying two people back to back can each see 180 degrees. And if you're standing on three corners, you've got that global oversight for the different aspects. And it's a very holistic or, you know, functional medicine perspective kind of thing to your finances. And so the big question, where do you see this space in 5 years? And why are you so excited to be part of it if we haven't got a flavor of that already?
Yes, man, and this is one of those questions I really struggle with because in so many ways, you know, I've learned that humans are just really bad at forecasting the future, but that doesn't stop us from trying, and it doesn't stop us from aspiring and really reaching for you know, these different goals. So I see. I see digital assets permeating every aspect of people's lives, whether it's we have real world on-chain assets to you know, just having better sort of I guess adoption of existing sort of cryptocurrency. So I see digital assets being everywhere, and the CDAA being almost like the quarterback, the gatekeeper of this entirely new world that's coming. You know, I have 4 kids, and I watch them just intuitively understand their iPads, their technology, these games in a way that, like, you know, I'm sort of in the middle. I'm not exactly, you know, a boomer, even though I have all this gray hair that says otherwise. But I'm not exactly a, you know, a millennial either. I'm just sort of in between. And so I'm watching this adoption thinking this is going to be the most natural thing for my 12-year-old to get, you know, digital currency, digital money, digital assets that like can move around like an NFT. I mean, it is the most intuitive thing for them to adopt and pick up. So I envision this just being everywhere, touching every aspect of our lives, and a CDAA being the most vital quarterback that can sort of navigate all this for people. So I have huge aspirations. I think the CDAA is just the ticket to having that understanding, being able to communicate it and simplify it, and then orchestrating it all for clients. So I think we can do it too, because I think the quality of people that are here are just, they are so committed to fiduciary standards and to the highest level of just customer care, for lack of a better term, that I think that we can change this practice and change sort of the narratives of the, you know, kind of dirty salesman, you know, Wolf of Wall Street kind of culture that, you know, most financial planning, you know, you came from an investment culture that was like that. And I think the CDAA is it's like a marker in the sand that is going to point in a totally different direction for where this profession goes. I know I'm just a little biased.
Just a little, but yeah, I love the, you know, putting that flag in the sand and saying, this is what it can be, right?
Yeah. Something new, something totally different and new.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's absolutely wonderful. So thank you, Justin, for your time today. So thrilled to be able to get together with you and get to know you better and really to set the standard for these conversations. So looking forward to meeting more of our PlannerDAO members and CDAAs. And anybody who's looking to get in touch with Justin, you can, of course, find him across all your favorite social channels and in the PlannerDAO. So I hope that you'll join us there. See you later.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.